CAD, bearish pressure. Okay, we have this pullback into a retest area on the market. It may not be visible here. Drop to the lower time frames, we have this visibility. Okay, now right now you can imagine that we have buyers stepping into the market, especially after this bullish pressure. What I'd like to see on this market is to see how price starts to react in and around this 75.29 zone. And if you get the bearish pressure on this market, using the lower time frames is a potential opportunity. Now, what I'm waiting for on this pair to see what happens is a false breakout, a wick below, potential retest, stop loss above market structure. Because we're selling into a lot of bull pressure, what I'll be waiting for on this pair is to then show evident, push down 25%, 30%, I'm going break even, and then I'll be looking to come back to make a potential lower low of this structure. Okay, this is how I'm seeing it. If this doesn't reject violently now with the sell pressure in this market, this could be a potential good opportunity. 15 minutes still has 9 minutes left to go, so no trading opportunity. 5 minutes just start to close bearish, but don't go down to it. Do not go down to it. Okay, so what am I waiting for? I need this price to come back into this area, do I? And the range on the 4-hour time frame here is going to be from this resistance to here, so it's 39 pips. Then 30-minute time frame, I'm looking at a 8-pip stop loss, 8-pip target, 34-pip range to the downside, 816.24, so it only needs to be around here. Okay, fine, break even at 25%. So now I want to see price come back into this area. Red alert. Let's see what happens here. There's enough, and we've got enough room to the downside, so you can potentially even go, let's just say 9 on this, and 27. This is completely fine. Very safe stop loss. Very easy target if we get the evidence. So I'll be looking out for this. And I'm not the type of person who want to be reading newspapers or following the news, so yeah. I prefer just to flick through these and that's it, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
But anyway,
Pound CAD is getting into that level.
Yeah.
But it needs to reject, right? So we can find the sells.
It needs to reject, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a new 15-minute candle,
So if this one stays like this, which means that 4 hour it's staying below, we should go. You will go for the sells, right?
No, not yet. I'm not comfortable with the sells right now. I want to see price push right into this zone and then look for the rejection.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We take a lot of these trades, rejections, selling resistance, buy on support, without market structure.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Because it's a lot of waiting time, right, on 4 hours, because it needs to break 4 hours, then you need to have, again, a retest with 4 hours to make a nice retest, right? Not fast retest. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. But remember, I don't care about what's happening in lower time frames. I'm just looking for an entry. That's the structure. What structure is this market?
But let's say go on 4 hour. Example, if this, like now we would have like higher high, right, on 4 hour, if it breaks, would you go then on lower time frame to wait for retest, or you wait 4 hours to retest nicely and then wait for rejection on with 4 hour candle once, then go off 1 hour entries?
So
is that fast or?
Right now, this trade that I'll be looking to take is an aggressive retest entry for a continuation down, okay? But notice the stop loss and TP is very small on the 4 hour time frame. I'm not targeting lower lows. I'm just targeting to fill this range within this candle, okay?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm looking to take this trade properly, then I want to be taking this trade up and around here, these wicks areas.
Okay.
Because then this becomes the lower high of this structure, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Then I'll use the hourly time frame to look for entries for this trade. Because then I can enter at the lower high with a stop loss now at break even, anticipating that price may continue to push down to make a lower low on the 4 hour time frame. But now if I'm taking aggressive entry here on a retest of structure, then what I need to do is I need to go to my lower time frames to look for the structure here, which is structural higher, low, based on sell bias pressure from the 4 hour time frame. And then now I'm looking for a retest of structure to continue this bearish momentum. Now what I'll be looking for now is for price to start rejecting this area, showing strong signs of rejection, even a potential break and then a close back down with a bearish candle and then look to sell this market. I love to see these false breakouts of structures. I love them because now breakout traders are taking trades. Retest traders are going to take buys. People holding buys from here are going to hold buys. I will know if it's not going to be a sell. If this closes bullish, the next candle starts to close bullish, then I stay away from this market. However, if this big candle pushes through this level, I love this because I know that buyers are entering the market again. And I'm going to wait for the next 15-minute or 30-minute candle to start pushing down to then close below these levels here. And then I'm looking to take my trade with either a sell stop or with a potential instant execution, depending on what happens with this market.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Do you ever enter with a limit?
No, I will never enter this right now with a sell limit because this is aggressive retest entry. This is not a lower high entry based on the 4-hour time frame. This is a lower high entry. This you can use limits. Here right now, I'll be using sell stops or an instant execution, depending on how this starts to reject if it does.
Because this is fast retest. Yeah, it's not like we're waiting for price to go like in the shape, right? Like you taught us.
No, the shape is here already.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm now expecting high, lower low, lower high, lower low, eventually. Maybe not now, but eventually. But if I can get into this trade with this range, this stop loss and this take profit, I can hit my take profit within this range of the market.
Yeah, fast, because you go with the momentum then, yeah.
Yes, and go with momentum and have a small stop loss. If I want to take this trade now, okay, now, based on a lower high formation like this, this becomes a late entry, and then now I need a bigger stop loss, bigger target. I'm going to do the psychology behind entering trades with stop losses and the variations, okay? Do you want that?
Yeah, nice, please.
Yeah, okay, I will do that for you guys.
Rox, just one thing when you're gonna take this trade, I noticed something that this the GBPCAD is not bullish pressure is not because of the CAD news. Check all the GBP pars.
Yeah, I'm not worried, to be honest with you, bro. I'm just concentrate as much as I can on seeing how this moves.
So how would you react if already this candle closes below resistance?
Not selling it.
Okay.
Right now, I have no emotional attachment to this trade.
Yeah, I just want to know the thinking, or how you think.
Yeah, so I'll give you my thinking also. Right now, I have no emotional attachment. I'm enjoying the fact that it's pushed and broken above. I like to see the close. So
you're expecting the close to be
above line,
above the black line?
no, not bothered where it closes. I just want to start to see rejection. That's it.
Okay. So when you see rejection, then you want to see a red candle push into the green area, and then you want to see another green candle testing those highs.
Yeah, something like that. I'll talk you through it. We've got 4 more minutes left of this candle. Let's see what happens.
Well, all we need is that Trump says something about oil. Oil shoots up, CAD shoots up, GBPCAD goes down.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the easiest way to do it.
Okay, so this is a good sign, right? So I said I want to see this price pushing into this area here and leave this rejection behind, okay? So now we still have to wait patiently for this entry in this market. There's a new 4-hour candle open, new hourly, new 30-minute, new 15-minute. Now what will probably happen is a push to the upside, then a wick is left behind if the bear pressure is going to kick into the market. I've drawn a second black line. This is an indication of a resistance/support level in the market. So if price starts to push up here, starts to show signs of rejection, then I'll look to set a sell stop in this market back to the downside. If it doesn't, then what I'll have to do is wait for this 15-minute candle to close and giving me signs of rejection. Now the 5-minute hasn't given me anything promised in terms of bearish pressure, even though if you enter this trade, it's pretty aggressive because I want to see this close more fuller to the downside. We have evidence on the 30-minute of strong rejection and also on the 4-hour as well. Okay, so now we're just waiting for the last bit of evidence to build up confidence for this trade to potentially enter the market. Okay, we know that the bulls are still in the market right now to try and push this up. That's very evident. Every time we try to break back to the downside, we're still having a strong rally up. So what I'd like to see is a strong tap into this area here, around 75, 34, whatever it is. See how it starts to reject. If it does, then I'll be far away from my entry. I'll be able to set a sell stop and hopefully get triggered in with momentum in this market, okay? So this is pound capital go through my charts. This is not a signal. I'm just talking you through how I would potentially enter this trade, okay? I'll take it and I'll take responsibility for it. Geez, the spread on this is huge at the moment.
0.6, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's 1 now. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's 1.
Yeah, cats. No,
it's fine. It's not too shabby.
Can I ask where would you put a sell stop? Below that candle before?
No, where my box is.
Okay, see, yeah.
So this is 70. Where is this at? This is 75.28.9.
That would be your sell stop, right? And stop loss above the wick.
Stop loss is always going to be above the wick.
Yeah, exactly, about the structure.
I haven't said it yet. 75.37.9. Still too much bullish pressure in the market at the moment, okay? So to sell here means we're selling in the middle of this range of this wick, okay? So what we want to see is for this area to be tapped first. You could go in 2 options with a sell limit, but sell limit is just a bit aggressive. I prefer for the sell stop.
So bro, that's just exception now, right? That you are on 50 minutes time frame. Otherwise, we always go 30 minutes, 1 hour entries.
Yeah, remember what I said to you. Don't lose foresight of what I just said. This is your lower high entry, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is your lower high entry. Maybe not up here. This is a perfect retest level. This is your lower high entry. Structural high, lower low, lower high entry. This has now become an aggressive break and retest entry of this overall bearish momentum structure.
Continuation. Okay.
Understand?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only reason why I'm here. I really want it to push up to that black line. I really do. Now, my thoughts on this, if this price pushes up and closes bullish again, okay. Well, not again, closes bullish, but within my stop loss range in between my first level here, my second level here, and closes in here, then I will potentially just set the sell stop regardless, because all I'm going to be waiting for is for this bearish pressure that we see in the market just to push the market down enough to go break even. Okay, that's what I'll be looking for. Okay, so this is enough for me to set my sell stop. Okay, so my sell stop is now in place. Now, if price continues to push up and breaks and closes above this structure, then the sell stop will be taken off. If not, I'm hoping that the resistance level will now hold and the momentum will shift for me back to the downside. And this resistance level, obviously, this overall bearish structure on this market will continue down. Okay, so let's see how this 15-minute closes. If this 15-minute closes back to the upside, then obviously I'll take off my sell stop. If it does, then I'll be happy to be triggered in this trade.
Exactly. That's why it's better order, right? So you don't get triggered if it doesn't go down. But if we were to enter already here, then it can just push and stop us out.
You can get triggered into this trade if there's volatility in the market. Okay. You can get triggered into this trade if there's volatility in the market, which means that it will come to tap you in and then continue up.
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay.
As I said, I'm just hoping that this resistance level is the level that the market is happy to reject, and then we just get this push to the downside. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's aggressive entry, right?
So now you have to change your stop loss if you get triggered into the search stop, right? Because
Why?
you're gonna put the stop above this wick.
Yeah, I might only have to change it a couple of pips, not too much. So now with the way price is moving, okay, my mindset is this: I don't want to be triggered in on this candle, okay?
Why not?
Because what usually happens at the end of each closing candle is you have a rally to either the upside or downside.
Mm-hmm.
What could happen now is this candle could exhaust all the way before a strong push to the upside. So I prefer a new candle to open and then pull back. At the moment, I'm satisfied with it, so I'll leave it. So now this will just get changed slightly to 10 pips, okay? We're going to see this evidence. Watch. I'll get triggered into this trade and it'll go up. Let's see what happens. So now stop loss gets moved to just 1 pip extra. Exactly that. Okay. You see what I mean? See what I mean? I did not want to be triggered in on this candle.
Nice. How will market execute when you have triggered the sell stop? It could be like that too, right?
I told you at the end of every candle it does this, okay? It exhausts before it pops. Now, we have to wait for the next candle.
Patience.
And you're only going to learn this stuff by
doing it,
going hard, okay? See, now, if I got triggered into this trade, what would have happened?
Stop loss hit.
Stop loss hit.
Exactly, yeah. And
so now this market, to me, more often than not, is going to be very bullish, okay? Unless this candle exhausts within the next 2 minutes, more often than not, this is going to be a very bullish market, okay?
Sorry, Rox, did you have sell stop at this price, 175,289?
Yeah, but I just said to you that I'm not going to, do not want to be triggered in this trade.
Yeah, but so that means you removed it, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Unless if this rejects like that, right? If it's close to the body down, right?
No, I want the body below
the black line.
That black line, yes.
Yeah, like that. You're waiting, Gregory, yeah?
No, I'm not getting triggered in on this candle. Now, more than likely, with this failure of this candle, we could see this momentum start shifting down. Now, this stop loss is getting bigger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the stop loss is too big now. Okay, fine. So, we just about have a 1 to 3 in this. Okay, so my sell stop will be back in place now. Why can't I set it? Too close. What is the spread on this? Why can't I set it?
Spread is
It's CAD.
8 at the moment.
half
So that means, no, that means
0.8, yeah, 0.9.
CAD has a little bit bigger spread, right?
Yeah, no, it just won't let me enter. Okay, I'll just go with an instant execution and script. $75, 41. How I want to enter this trade? 75, 74, 93. All right, let's see how this plays out. Okay, I wanted to enter a sell stop. I couldn't because the broker wouldn't allow me. Let's see what happens now. So my only insurance now on this trade is I have these major resistance areas, price closed below these previous resistance areas in the past, stop loss above these wick areas. Let's see what happens, okay? Now I'm just looking for price to come to about 25% of this whole move here, identifying that on the higher time frame, this is a huge rejection wick, okay? Once that happens, then I'll just put my stop loss to break even, and then I'll just hope for the best. let's see what happens with this trade.
Well done, mate. That was really interesting.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, bro. I won't risk 30%.
No, do not.
Yeah, enough for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next week, because Friday is also, right? You trade Fridays.
No, I don't.
So Monday to Thursday, right?
Monday to Thursday.
Friday are what? Stop hunts or what?
No, Friday is just a psychological day for me that I don't want to give back profits or chase.
Okay. Exactly.
So look, regardless if this trade wins or loses, yeah, because it happens, I don't want to build too much substance around this, but can you see how we built this trade up using the evidence with the wicks, how the bodies are closing below structure? Now this becomes a case of trade win, will this trade lose? Does it make sense? Nice. I'm not taking full responsibility for anybody that's taking this trade, but does this make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So now we have this big bearish candle on this chart, which I said we're going to have this pressure from this market, and now we have the downside. Okay, so I have no emotional attachment to it. I'm actually happy that it did move down. Whatever happens now happens. Okay, so once this 15-minute candle closes, which is in about 9-10 minutes, I'll just put this trade to break even, and then I'm done. Technically, I'm going break even. Probably, let me just see now. So this is going to be here to here, 11 pips. Yeah, I should be at break even now, to be honest with you. Now, all I'm expecting this market to do is just continue with bearish pressure to the downside, okay? So I will lock this in at break even, and that's it. So if this candle starts to reject, okay, on the 15-minute time frame, and push all the way back to the upside, what does that start to indicate to us?
That bulls are in control.
Yeah, very good. So that's why when I take trades like this aggressively, all I want to be seeing is the shift in momentum from the higher time frames, okay? Which analysis on the higher time frame is down. This is the lower high structure, anticipating lower low. Now, because I entered this very aggressively, all I want to be seeing is continued bearish pressure on this market, and that's it, okay? So if this starts to reject again and create an indecision, then what I'm going to be doing is taking the bias from this lower time frame that these wicks are definitely a sign that the bulls are in the market, and potentially we're going to continue going up. It doesn't mean I'm going to look for buys. It just means that that's what potentially is going to happen, okay? So let's see how this candle closes. I hope it doesn't pull back, but I don't care.
Have you taken already to break even?
Yeah. Okay. Remember, I'm not looking at these candles with too much substance or the structure of this chart. Okay? What I'm doing is anticipating what's happening on the 4-hour time frame. All I want to see is this bearish momentum continue down with this rejection. Okay. Yeah. If it starts to push up, what does this candle become? An indecision, right? Which means this bearish pressure on this market is dominant at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Okay. I did consider a sell limit here. I wish I did, but oh well. I focused on the sell stop, but let's see what happens. Okay.
Hi, Rock.
Hi, bro.
Hi. I just joined, so I'm just wondering. I can see there's a 15-minute time frame. Is it okay to look for the entries 15 minutes as well?
No, I mentioned that the reason why I'm on the 15-minute time frame is because I'm taking an aggressive retest of the overall structure on the 4-hour, which is down. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I've had to come down to the lower time frames to look for structure and evidence to try and get in with momentum. And this is what's happened. We'll go. This is recorded If anybody wants to see this, then I'll cut this out and show you guys how I entered this trade. But I've gone over it a few times, bro, so
Okay.
I'll provide the recording or something, okay?
No, that's okay. That's fine.
So now, if this closes very bearish, yeah, in the next 5 minutes, we could potentially have this continued push to the downside, which means that 4-hour candle should go from the bullish candle that it was to a wick at the top and a strong bearish close, hopefully. Let's see what happens. Remember, there's no emotions attached to this trade anymore. We're break even. Technically, we wouldn't be watching it. We'll just shut it down and let it go. Now, the reason why you have to manage your trades like this at break even is because we've gone in for a very aggressive entry, not using a lower high structure. We've gone in using a break and retest structure trade on the lower time frames, okay? Which means right now, a slight move on the 4-hour could just be a slight exhaustion, which could stop us out before it continues back to the downside. So now, this trade, all we're hoping for is just continued momentum in the market to the downside, okay? Now, if this trade moves to 75% with this one candle, what do you think I'm going to do?
Lock in profits.
Take profits, exactly, at least 75% of them, because now, looking at the 15-minute time frame, once that candle closes, what will happen more often than not?
It will push back up.
Yeah, it's going to exhaust, right? Now, because I know I have buy pressure on the 4-hour time frame, that could just mean that on the 4-hour time frame, this is another pullback before the explosion back to the upside. So I'd rather not be sitting in that trade. So personally, I prefer this candle to close like this now, and then have one more big strong rally to the downside with a candle close like this, or like this, or like this. Just something nice and small and tidy. And then I'll be happy to sit in a small exhaustion before the second phase, which is another pushback to the downside, okay? 3 minutes left of this candle. Now, two things can happen now in the last 2 minutes of this candle. We can have a very strong push to the downside, or we can have a very strong exhaustion of this candle. If I have a very strong push to the downside, then with this trade, I'll potentially look to take half my profits again. If we have the exhaustion, then I'll just accept a break-even trade. But you see this level that I drew before candles came up to this level. You see how it's being respected. Remember, this is not 15-minute structure. This is all 4-hour structure. So always bear that in mind, okay? So we're into the last 2 minutes of this candle, which means that we're going to start to see some sort of madness happening. Remember, now we should be looking at a pin bar, bearish engulfing on the 30-minute. Very good. We should also see the same on the hourly, and we should also see a huge wick on the 4-hour with a bearish presence. We're now pushing into a strong resistance level, which means we should have a slight exhaustion, but this is a new 4-hour candle, so the bearish momentum should continue in this market. There's no reason why this should exhaust unless there is buy orders here, which is very unlikely. So let's see how this candle continues to push to the downside, okay? Now, how I'll be managing this trade if I'm looking at this, if price can now start to break and close below this level here, then I feel confident that we could hit take profit. If we start to reject it and play in and around these areas, then I'll be expecting to see price to play in and around this area or a potential exhaustion. Now, let me just see where I'm on this wick. So this is my first level, second level in this market. Stop loss is where? Stop loss on this pair is here, okay? For our time frame, we're looking at this wick here. I mean, it's a fairly safe trade. Oh shit, I'm not actually in stop loss. I'm in break even, which is the second candle break even. Yeah, no, I think we'll be okay in this, to be honest with you.
This is nice momentum now, yeah.
Holy mother of pushes.
Are you in, Gregor?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Amen.
Okay, guys, don't forget to send profits to Rox after this trade.
No, man, I don't want to.
Just joking.
Okay, so honestly, I think the way this trade could be managed, we have the momentum, it's in our favor, and we have strong rejection from the upside with wicks left behind. I think on this trade, we could just safely say that we'll be happy with a 25% big profit. Now you have two options. We have our break even in a very good place, which means price will have to reject this on a major level and then push all the way to the upside to take us out, or you can be happy and content with this candle closing and slight exhaustion below this 25% and call it a day. Based on the fact that I've already taken a trade, if this price continues to push to the downside and it hits my 75%, I'm going to be out of this trade, okay? Me personally, if not, I'll be happy to take a 25% on this trade.
I already took profit, to be honest.
That's good, bro. Well done.
It was 2-1, so.
There you go. I've closed my order at 75%, okay?
Oh, nice.
So we banked on that pair. 25.
And sick trade, bro. Sick trade.
We banked what, more than 2.5 to 1 on this?
I closed it at 2, but yeah, you probably did more even now if you go.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Rox, I think you should definitely cut that down and post it for people to watch.
Yeah.
I think that was amazing.
That was a sick trade.
Yeah, man.
That just gassed me up. I'm not gonna lie.
But it's not that; it's the thought process on how we entered.
Yeah. This
That's
is
the bit you've got to take out of
The
it.
college, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant before.
I just wanted to say, from how you put this trade together, it looked like you're a doctor of Forex. Sincerely, the explanation to it, I'm just like, what the fuck?
He's a Jay Shetty of Forex, man.
You guys take profit at 75%, or are you still holding?
Like I said, I'm done.
And
done.
no emotions at all. He's like cool as fuck.
No, I'm done on this trade also.
I mean,
I'm sad I didn't enter.
I mean, like in 20 minutes we got out. Like, what could be better?
Yeah, very, very nice 2.5 to 1 on this trade. Well, more than that, I think. Wait, hold on. How do we divide this? We divide that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 3. 5 divided by 3 equals... No, that's bullshit. Bang 1.6. Somebody worked out for me. 1, 2, more than 2.5. So 12.
Bro, do I need to know?
Oh yeah, exactly 2 to 1. How does that make sense?
Because you had 12 pips.
12, 24. Oh yeah, so about 2.2. Yeah, it's fine, man. I think it's a good trade. I think we can call that a day, right?
Yeah.
Even if we don't complete, it would be very nice to see it complete, but I don't know how long we're going to be sitting in this for. But
fair enough.
I'm happy that played out. If you're still in this trade, think about taking profits. No point sitting in this any longer, man. 2 to 1 is very good, especially now that we're pushing some very strong wick areas on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, very strong wick areas, so we can expect a rejection of this candle before it decides to open a new candle or finally break the structure. Okay, so don't battle this.